gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Immolator. I will be your host, and I am very attractive. With me, as always, is the Lord Mayor, Chairman, and Emperor of mainland Taiwan, Michael Magus.
Ooh, I like that. I'm a little surprised you didn't go with total elimination.
Nah, save that one. Save that one for Group 2.
We are here. That's true. I don't know if Group 2 is coming here, though. That's the problem. We are here at Imola, in the lovely Italian countryside. I believe literally the city of Imola is the closest city to the track. I could be mistaken. And this is Ferrari country. And sadly, there are no Ferraris near the front. In fact, only one Ferrari in the field. That belonging to Diego Alonso, who's down in 18th place. As qualifying comes to a close here, I'm not sure who's on the pole. There we go. Zach Martin in the McLaren 720 on the pole. I do believe this might be his first ever pole in ESR. So a tip of the hat to him. Andrew Burke is in second in the Audi, so it's a bit of a weird mid-engine front row right now because this track is very front-engine friendly, which you can see with the next couple of cars there. You got Jeff Wentworth, William Mirror, Dominic Turcotte, Michael Magus, Ayrton Tobin, Paul Riccobeni in the top 10. Those are all front-engine cars. A couple Porsches in there, Dan French and Matt Higgs. A couple of other pretty solid going front-engine cars, such as Benjamin Atamian up there, as well as Trevor Chaney in the top half of the field. So we're looking pretty good here for a, I believe, 27-28 car race. And hopefully no one dies.
Insert Ivan Drago.
Robert Arzumian finishing off his qualifying. Might have time
Zoom,
for
zoom,
one more
zoom,
lap.
and the boom, boom.
Looks like he might have time for one more lap. We'll see what we can do. Dominic Turcotte finishing up. Looks like he'll start from the inside of row number 3 in his Mad Panda Motorsports Mercedes. Mad Panda team doing very, very well.
The marsupials, they are angered.
This is just the third round of the championship, so I'm not going to talk a ton about the championship standings because we got a long way to go. But it is shaping up to be potentially be very tight. Although Matt Higgs kind of running away with it at the moment, up at the top of the charts with 2 wins in 2 races, so he's doing quite well. Everybody finishing up here. Higgs down in 10th place, so he's got a little bit to do right now. Quick rundown of the standings. Matt Higgs leads by 14 points over Andrew Burke. Following them, it's William Murrah, then Dominic Turcotte, Dan French. In the silver category, it is currently being led by Jake Northrup. Interestingly, because he's overall behind Dan French, but is actually ahead in the overall standings, which is a bit weird. Michael Magus is in 3rd place there. And in the bronze category, it is Diego Alonso and David James, joint leaders, with Seth Chaney just 2 points back. And in the Teams Championship GPX, which is the 3-man Porsche team of Matthew Higgs, Justin Swan, and Andreas Lasudis, lead the way from Mad Panda and Tech 1 Racing Lexus. As we do have a grid, we don't see it all, but hopefully we'll get a good look overall. Actually, you know what? I keep forgetting. I do have the results here up on the race app, so we can pull those out and read them off to you. So here is the starting grid for today's race. 27 cars in all. Zach Martin will start from pole ahead of Andrew Burke, Wentworth and Hermura on row 2. Then it's Turcotte and Magus, row 3. French and Tobin on row 4. Row 5 will be Paul Riccobeni and Matt Higgs. Bit of a weird one to see those two down the pecking order so far. Max Simmons, Guillermo Taylor. Then it is the all-Argentinian row 7, Benjamin Adamian and Andreas Lasudis. Dave Nelson and Trevor Chaney. Seth Chaney and Diego Alonso. Cliff Hemian and Robert Arzumian, row 10. Row 11. And from this point backwards, it's all bronze drivers. David James and Ruben Ciencio. Matt Howell and Rick Martel. Juan Borje and Thomas Woz. And Dave Brock bringing up the rear. That is your field here at Imola.
Actually, that's not accurate. Everybody made pole position, but they just had to spread it out.
So Jeff Wentworth will be in a rather good spot here to start the race, because as that front engine car, he can abuse the curbs here a lot more than the two guys on the front row, and maybe go for something pretty early here.
Is this about a gopher?
Imola is, of course, very famous for its curbs and the fact that you really have to abuse the curbs to get the best lap possible, the best pace possible. And that's why the front engine cars do have an inherent advantage here. But we'll see if it plays out, because we do see, again, we do have an all mid-engine front row, so obviously it's not a guarantee. We got a couple other cars up there pretty well, a couple of Porsches in the mix. We'll see what they can do. But it did seem to really hurt the bronze and lower silver drivers who are driving non-front engine cars, because they are a little bit down the pecking order. So we begin here as we head down towards the start-finish straight here at Imola.
No, they're all disqualified. That's too bad. I'll go. Everybody go home. Not enough carnage. Disqualified.
I mean, usually carnage leads to disqualifications, not a lack of it.
No, I thought this was hit to pass.
All right, here we go. We got a bit of a gap further back there. Looks like one of the Tango Aston Martins not really farmed up with the grid. Hopefully he can fix that up. And we await the green flag.
They already got the green light.
There we go.
Oh, are they like T-Rexes that need motion?
Matt Higgs with a hell of a start. He comes charging through in the GPX Porsche. Ayrton Tobin also going pretty hard in the paint at Tamburello. Michael Magus gets shuffled out wide and loses a couple of spots. Zach Martin has lost the lead and has dropped back, I think, as far as 4th place, because the race lead now belongs to Burke ahead of Murrah and Wentworth. Terrible start for the pole sitter. He's back down to 4th place. Other movers and shakers, Tobin and Higgs, like I said, up to 6th and 7th place. They've had a good start. Dan French has had a good start. Benjamin Adamian up into the top 10. Paul Riccobeni has vanished, so the Lexus has fallen way off the pace. I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm sure the stewards will probably investigate it. Picking up on board with Dave Nelson as he battles with Max Simmons. Maximum Sandbag Simmons.
The Sandman.
There was a debate over on the Sunday series as to if Max Simmons was the sandbag. I can assure you, everybody, Max Simmons was the sandbag. There was a graphic for it and everything.
You tell me you boys run Sunday school?
We run Sunday races.
By the power of Satan.
Into the Variante Alta for the first time. Dave Nelson hanging on against Max Simmons. And in the background, we have Cliff Hemian's had a good start. He's up to 15th place in the Bentley. That should be a fairly strong car around here. One of the rare times I'll say that, because I am not a fan of the Bentley. Max Simmons down the inside of Ravassa and up into 12th place, taking over from Dave Nelson. Seth Chaney looking to get past Nelson as well. Seth Chaney, one of the contenders for the bronze title, currently just 2 points off the lead and currently running in 2nd place here in the bronze. Behind just Benjamin Adamian. Max Simmons with a late break into Tamburello gave Dave Nelson a sniff, but Nelson appears not to have taken it over. We also have someone dropping back through the field. It is Zach Martin dropping through the field like a stone. The pole sitter's day has just gotten worse. He started the race in 1st place and is now down in 11th.
Dang.
That is pretty terrible, to be honest. That's him in the yellow and black McLaren 720 up ahead. Or pardon me, he's the yellow and orange one. Dave Nelson is the yellow and, or pardon me, the orange and black. Dave Nelson is the black and yellow. I do wish they would change that, guys. There's a lot of colors that are. There's a lot of. Fan. There's a lot of. Well, no. One of them can keep the yellow and black. I don't care, but I just want all the shadow play, aka Send It Nation cars, to be easily identifiable, because it can be done. Because that shadow play car comes in all colors you can think of, because it's got multiple liveries. And in the meantime, Cliff Hemian looking for a move there into Variante Alta. We cut away. It looks like he did not successfully make the overtake. Diego Alonso defending the hometown Ferrari factory. And he is down in 19th place, having started a little bit higher up, so not a great start. The only other Italian car in the field is the Lamborghini of Max Simmons. Really, the Italian cars are not popular this season, as Seth Chaney is off in Aqua Minerale. Yeah, that's Aqua Minerale. No, that's not. That's Ravazza.
And as everybody knows, Aqua Minerale translates to crunchy water.
I just call it the Expanse term because, of course, the Expanse TV show and book big on the Aqua. Rick Martel going side by side with Robert Arzumian. Backs out of that. It's a battle for 22nd place. They've got Juan Borji ahead of them in the Tango Aston Martin, and behind them is the other Shadow Play car in the black and blue of Matt Howell. Arzumian clipping Tamburello a little bit hard. Oh, in the background! Looks like Diego Alonso spun around. That was Villeneuve, not Tamburello. I am sorry, everybody. I know these turns, but I've misidentified 2 in a row now. That is.
You haven't even called him Jeff.
I mean, there is no turn called Jeff. If I ever made a track, you know there'd be a Jeff turn.
Me, I'm a Jeff.
What would a Jeff turn be, Byron? If you did a Track Mania Jeff turn, what would it be?
It would be very quiet.
Exceedingly quiet. It'd be a freewheeling section. There you go.
Correct. To this point, I would like to plug my merch.
Go ahead.
Actually, it's not mine, but your boy Martin has shared design choices with me, and there will be a Put 'em in the Wall t-shirt or garments available.
There we go.
So be on the lookout for that.
ESR merch by Byron.
Well, I mean, I wasn't even really... The only thing, he had like 4 different designs. He's like, which one do you like? And I said, those 2 are great. And he's like, I like one of those 2.
We're trying to hype it up here. If it comes from you, it'll be hyped. It'll be more hyped.
It comes from me as designed by Gianni Versace or somebody very important, I'm sure.
By the way, I picked up where Paul Riccobeni is. He's down in 25th place, so I'm not sure what happened to him, but obviously it's been a rough time. As he is looking to overtake somebody in the background there. That is Dave Brock he is battling with. Diego Alonso has fallen to the back after his Villeneuve spin. Juan Borji under pressure from Matt Howell, who goes way off the track at Tamburello and cuts the... or Villeneuve again. I am sorry. He cuts across the sand trap and will drop a number of places. I know at least Arzumian overtook him there. Dominic Turcotte is slipped back to 8th place. Not sure what happened there as he's trying to chase down Michael Magus with the proud MMA in the windshield. And further back, we got Zach Martin on a recovery drive, having lost pole position and dropping to 11th place. He now has to get past Guillermo Taylor and Benjamin Adamian in the Tango Aston Martins, who are running quite well today. Oh no, Zach. Way late into Ravazza. Simmons is going to overtake him. Looks like that's all the damage that is done, but that is going to be 12th place for the pole sitter now. David Brock battling with Matt Howell. Bronze on bronze fight. And, oh boy. Oh, Matt. I think that 720 is having problems on the brakes. We saw him skip over Villeneuve, and now he has messed up the braking entry to Ravazza and loses a spot to Tom Woz in the green, black, and white dynamic Porsche.
720, no blaze it.
Looks like a little bit of damage on the front end of Dave Brock there. A little bit beaten up, maybe gotten to the back of someone earlier in the race. I see a little bit of damage on the back of Tom Woz, so I'm not saying that's the cause of it, but there's a somewhat of a likelihood that maybe those two had a little rub in his racing moment. And behind them it is Howell and Alonso who are on their recovery drives, having had some issues early on. Oh, Adamian has gotten past Turcotte. Wonder what happened there. So Adam Yen up into 8th place. I don't think he's ever run this high, to be honest. So a big congratulations to him. He's on the naughty behavior list here in 3D Speed, down to just 2 license points before facing a race ban. So hopefully he can keep this clean, because he's a man in a little bit of trouble.
Be not afraid. Put them in the wall. If they can't recover in time to race the next day, you're still good.
Well, you're not, because you're still banned.
Well, yeah, but then if you put the right guy in the wall, if they miss a race and you miss a race, not a big deal.
I'm not sure what Tango Aston Martin that is that's in this mix. There isn't anyone. Oh, Ruben Ciencia. Okay, never mind. With Hemi and overtaking Ruben Ciencia. So all the Tangos are having a pretty good run here. 3 of them in the top 20, 2 of them in the top 10. Juan Borges a little bit off. He's back in 23rd place, but it looks like Tango and the Aston Martin crew has got themselves a good setup here today, because they're on a little bit of a charge. It's been a trying season for them, so this is good to see. Ooh, Ruben Ciencio making a little mistake there, and that's going to let David James through into 17th place for the Tech 1 Lexus crew.
What do you say about Ruben Vieira?
Ruben Ciencio, not Ruben Vieira.
CNCO Music Factory? Everybody drive now. Boom, 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 boom.
At least it's not Ruben Studdard.
Or Rubens Barrichello?
I mean, Rubens Barrichello as a sim racer would be an impressive feat. ESR would love to have him.
I'd like to go back and find that episode of Top Gear where, was it? There's Hammond, there's May. Clarkson threatened to push a bust made out of butter through a table fan, or through a desk fan that was sculpted to look like Rubens Barrichello.
Dominic Turcotte really wants past Benjamin Adamian, which I cannot really blame him. I mean, he is an ace driver that's currently held up by a bronze driver. It's not a good feeling, even when that bronze driver is having a hell of a run today. This is the career run of Benjamin Adamian right now. And Dominic Turcotte wants to find a way past, and he will into Tosa, I think. And does, in fact, make the overtake on Adamian. So, next up for Turcotte, as he qualified 5th, so he's running a bit behind where he started. He'll be looking to get up onto Michael Magus, Ayrton Tobin, and Dan French, who are up ahead. Max Simmons looking to get back up into the top 10, or maybe into the top 10 for the first time. I don't know. He's been hovering around the top 10 anyways. Trailing Guillermo Taylor at the moment in the Aston Martin. So the 2 Tangos ahead of him. And pole sitter Zach Martin behind him looking to make up ground. It's been a rough day for the 720 crew, the Sendit Nation cars. All 3 of them, well, I think Dave Nelson maybe has gone forward, but bad day for Matt Howell so far. Bad day for Zach Martin. And that team is kind of looking for a good result here, because they've not been doing extremely well in the Teams Championship. They are currently in 5th place, looking to overcome TalkSport. And the problem for them is TalkSport's got 2 very high-running cars at the moment. As Max Simmons makes a mistake into Tamburello and will cut the chicane and rejoin behind, or side-by-side with Dave Nelson, and eventually lose out in the way to Villeneuve. Villeneuve, of course, named after Gilles Villeneuve. I've said this before, it's a bit weird that given Ferrari's emphasis on F1, that there are not more corners at what at one point was their test track, named after F1 drivers, because I think Villeneuve is the only one. And Ayrton Tobin under pressure from Dan French into Aqua Minerale, and he'll hang on to 5th place for now. Michael Magus and Dominic Turcotte right there in the Lexus and Mercedes, respectively.
Right there?
Right there.
Dang.
Magus in the black and red, and the black and white for Turcotte. And Guillermo Martinez losing a pair of spots there. Zach Martin opened him up into Variante Alta, and Max Simmons went through as well. So dropping to 12th place for Guillermo Taylor. And we still got a pit stop to come, so definitely some wiggle room to play with here. But the Aston Martins look like they're falling back just a little bit. Dave Nelson will be next to try his hand at that. He's being followed by Andreas Lasudis right now.
Of Borg.
Borg, Argentina.
Could be. Bjorn Borg?
Jeff Wentworth under pressure from Matt Higgs. Higgs has had a pretty good run. Started in 10th place. He's up to 4th in that GPX Porsche. So, having a pretty good day. Even if this track does not really suit the Porsche. I know he was saying that he felt the Porsche was actually the worst of the cars around this track. Not entirely sure I agree with that statement, but it is definitely low on my power rankings. But, I mean, the Porsche had two very solid tracks to start the season up with Laguna Seca and Kyle Almy, so at some point, you got to eat a little bit of the crap.
Well, I mean, the Porsche is just a long VW bug.
Michael Magus hanging on against Dominic Turcotte. That's a lot of pressure. Turcotte is one of the faces in this championship fight. Was in the championship fight 2 seasons ago. Not so much last season. Had a little bit of an off run. But I do remember him and the Bentley being very much in the fight back 2 seasons ago. And now with the Mercedes factory team of Mad Panda trying to make some things happen. As we have our first pit stopper, Jeff Wentworth is in the pit lane from 3rd place.
Jeff went to the pits?
Jeff did go to the pits. We'll see if anybody else
There's an
comes
entire
in
bird for that.
the early undercut. Bit surprising anyone's going for the undercut at like 25 minutes remaining in the race. I don't really think there's a ton of value on that, but we'll see how Wentworth does, and maybe I'll be proven wrong as Michael Magus defends into Tamburello against Dominic Turcotte and hangs on to 6th place. Although a temporary 6th place because he's been promoted by Wentworth's pitting. Paul Riccobeni is also in the pits. That's not surprising. Riccobeni fell from like 9th place back to the back of the pack. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's got some damage that he would really like to get fixed. And that would explain the early window pit stop. Riding on the hood of Ruben Ciencio. How do you like the hood cam, Byron?
I enjoyed the hood cam. Hood cam pretty good. Bumper cam a little bit more, what you call, suspenseful. But the hood cam is pretty good. Especially if we get some pit maneuvers. We get to see it, like, right up close and personal.
Indeed. Ruben Ciencio having a pretty decent run here in 18th place. I want to say this would probably be his best result of his ESR career. Just pulling up his resume right now. While Ayrton Tobin continues to defend against Dan French. Where is Ruben? There he is. Yeah, 21st and 23rd so far this season. So 16th would be a notable improvement. So good on him. Ayrton Tobin into the pit lane. So the Talksport guy's going early. And it looks like someone else is following him in there. I think that's the Mad Panda, Dominic Turcotte. It is. The other Mad Panda, or one of the other Mad Pandas, Dave Brock, also in the pit lane. As one of your favorites, Rick Martel sadly losing 17th place to Robert Arzumian, who I think will become one of your favorites just because of the name.
I'm going to call him Zoomy Boy from now on. Oh, Zoomy Boy, the pipes are screaming.
One of the Tangos heading down pit road. I think that's Ciencio. It is. He is in. A lot of early pitters here.
We go vroom vroom and down the water
and
slide.
the third Talksport car of Trevor Cheney in. So all the Talksports going very early into the pit lane. Matt Howell in for Send It Nation as well. And Juan Borji in the Tango.
Sir, I believe Sindit Nation actually is part of China, so, appreciate if you would apologize to your communist overlords, much like John Cena.
But they have no Chinese driver. In fact, it's an all-American team.
Sir, that doesn't really matter.
Are you saying that China owns America?
China? I'm not saying China owns America. I'm just saying that suspiciously they started electing an orange person. I thought maybe the next one would be like just straight up spray painted red.
It looks like Dominic Turcotte has jumped Jeff Wentworth in the pit stalls, as has Ayrton Tobin. So I wonder if Wentworth had some problems. Dan French is in the pits, as well as Benjamin Adamien and William Murrah. So we'll see where they come out.
Jeff went pits.
This is as close as Zach Martin's been to the front of the field since the start of the race, which is kind of sad because he started on pole. And it's oh boy, somebody is very off there. One of the Tangos. Not sure what's up with that. Andreas Lasutis running into the top 10. Resistance is futile. We are the 8. Oh, whoa, Andreas! That's not the line into Villeneuve. Oh no!
Sir, I think his GPS might be a little fucked up.
His GPS might be a little GPX for experimental. Hopefully Andreas suffered no major damage in that, but might want to get to the pits in the near future. So still going along, Andrew Burke, Matt Higgs, Michael Magus, Zach Martin, Max Simmons, Guillermo Taylor, Dave Nelson, Andreas Lasutis, Cliff Hemian, Robert Arzumi, and Rick Martel. Oh, Burke's in the pits. So we do have a number of late runners, but we had a number of early pitters. That'll be interesting to see how this works for traffic. Matt Higgs is also in. The leader and second place are in the pit lane. Which means, Byron, we're going to see something we don't see a lot of here on the ESR broadcast.
What's
and
that?
If you'll turn your eye to first place for a moment.
Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, Eminem, top rapper in the world, now also best racer.
Max Simmons up into second place, Guillermo Taylor to third, but it's because they have not stopped yet. I don't think any of them are podium candidates here today. Max Simmons, always the king of the overcut. Max Simmons, I will give him that. Always a late stopper. Tom Woz going deep, and as a result is battling with Dominic Turcotte. This is for position into Varianzi Alta, but not really a race that's happening because Woz is still on his initial set of tires, and Turcotte will deal with him pretty quickly and move into 15th place.
Do you think that was a good idea?
I think that was a good idea. Because
you think he was thinking about all the alternatives? Perhaps not.
Perhaps not. But there wasn't really a way that he was going to that he was going to hold up Dominic Turcotte for any particular length of time.
Oh, wasn't there?
Number of pit stops: Andreas Lasutis, Arzumian, Martel, all into the pit stalls. Nelson and Martin in for the Send It Nation crew. So that means that we are down to the top 4 plus Alonso and Woz, I think. So 6 cars yet to make their pit stop, and we'll have to in the next 2.5 minutes. As that's the amount of time left in the pit window. Max Simmons into the pit lanes. Max Simmons has been outrun by 5 different people. Call the papers! Call them! Max Simmons never gets overcut. Oh no!
Hide your hydraulics.
We got a stop go penalty as Jeff Wentworth is battling with Zach Martin there. This is over 13th place. Wentworth getting the job done into Piotella.
How come nobody ever gets a go-go penalty?
Because I don't really know what that would be, I guess.
You just have to pull over and start dancing.
Robert Arzumian with stop-go penalty. That's probably for speeding in the pit lane. Arzubian's had some problems in the pits before. He was rear-ended, if memory serves, at Kyle Almy in the pit lane, and now has sped in the pit lane. So things are going rough for him as Tom Woz has a pretty considerable moment there out of Variante Alta, and Jeff Wentworth will say, "Thank you very much. Now, if you could please delay the pole sitter, I would be very appreciative."
I mean, I think you said pole dancer, they'd be, again, more inclined to listen.
So Magus and Woz are the only two that have yet to pit. So they are still out there. Hemian taking service, as well as Diego Alonso, Guillermo Taylor at the moment. And Woz is in the pit lane. So there we go.
Meanwhile, that Magus kid probably got a hoarded jerry can of gas in the passenger seat and is just going to refill on the fly.
I'm told by the Lexus Tech 1 team that Magus went heavy on fuel just for this instance, just to get that overcut.
Cha-cha.
And is now in the pit lane, coming out of the lead. So that's everybody in the pits. So we'll have a look at what the standings look like. Or not the standings, but the running order looks like once the pit stop cars have rejoined. No offense to Seth Chaney, I don't know why the camera's on him right now.
Chain.
Running in
he
17th.
shot somebody in the face with a shotgun. Oh, that's the other Chaney.
Running in 17th place, third amongst the bronze drivers, so having another solid run for the Get Speed team that won the team's championship last season. Shout out to the randomly abandoning drivers known as Javier Perez-Torres and Chris Johnston. What the heck, guys? And also Jake Northrup was in on that championship run. Northrup is not here today, but is running in the series, having moved over to Emil Frey Lexus with Cole McRae and Mika Webb. That team is absent from the proceedings today. Looks like we've had a problem with Tom Woz's pit. It has not cleared his mandatory pit stop. As William Murrah is now... Oh, no! Contact between Dan French and one of the Aston Martin Tangos. I think Alexis got caught up in that as well. Trying to make sense of who that was. I think it was Magus in the Lexus, because he gets overtaken by Wentworth. I'm not sure who the Tango Aston Martin was. I don't see one dropping through the fields. That might have been blue flag contact, but a pile up in Tamburello, and Jeff Wentworth just got 2 positions and is up into 7th place. Although definitely a bad pit stop for Wentworth, because he was in 3rd before the pit stops. And is now running in a fortunate 7th. So he's having a rough time. William Murr in the lead. Andrew Burke 2nd. Matt Higgs. Ayrton Tobin. Dominic Turcotte's made up some spots back into 5th. Max Simmons has been a big winner off of the pit stops. He's up to 6th place. Judging by the body language of Jeff Wentworth's car, I'm not sure how long Simmons is going to stay there. I think he's under immense pressure. But we'll see as we ride on board with Andrew Burke. This is the inside of the Audi R8, the only Audi R8 in the field this season, driven by Andrew Burke. Someone needs to partner with Burke. Someone needs to fix this problem. Kind of like I said about Seth Chaney earlier, not really sure why we're running with him here. He's coming up to some lap traffic. That's Tom Woz up ahead of him in the Dynamics Porsche. William Murrah, the race leader, getting past some lap traffic there. I think that's Matt Howell in the Send It Nation McLaren 720. Dave Nelson running in the top 10 after the pit stop, so he's had a good time. He's gotten past both the Tango Aston Martins of Benjamin Adamian and Guillermo Taylor, as well as Dan French. Paul Riccobeni's up to 14th, so he's coming through nicely in the Lexus, Tech 1 Lexus. The big losers of the pit stops, Wentworth dropping down to 7th place. Looking for anyone else who's kind of fallen down the pecking order.
Listen, sir, if you're going to use that word, you have to say it like Ace Ventura.
Loser.
Loser.
As Guillermo Taylor goes wide there and loses a spot to Dan French. The Tango Aston Martins have come out on the bad end of the pit stops, it looks like. Ruben Ciencio's down to 22nd place. Both Taylor and Adamian have fallen kind of out of the top 10 picture. Adamian's still kind of in there. He's only about a half second off of it, so we'll see what he can do. But Guillermo Taylor has been relegated to battling with Paul Riccobeni here, and the Lexus making short work of the Aston Martin there at Ravazza. Byron, we got 10 and a half minutes to go in the race. Do you have any candidates for driver of the day?
Well, after careful examination, I'd just like to say that I had a fresh strawberry off my strawberry plant today, and it was pretty fucking good. And I think the best driver of the day is obviously Rick Martel with that paint job.
A fan of the Rick Martel paint job. But Paul Riccobeni has the same paint job.
Well, I would say nice things about Paul Riccobeni, but he just, he kicked 3 children into traffic last week, and nobody got ran over, so we're not that successful.
Okay, so we're criticizing the lack of success when it comes to cruelty to children.
Correct, yes.
Excellent. Did you check out my commentary with RWB Charger?
I have not. I saw it was listed, and I was intrigued, but I haven't got there yet.
Charger's apparently been told to be a little more sedated by his fellow admins.
What? So, no. God damn it. Fuck off.
He's been given a little chill down time.
Listen, Charger, if you're out there listening, fuck those people.
As Max Simmons has held up actually under Jeff Wentworth's pressure, so I thought Wentworth would crack him, and it hasn't worked. Wentworth still has that aggressive body language, looking to the outside of turn 1 as well as Tamburello here. You can get the cut back into the second half of Tamburello and maybe get the job done. Simmons tried to defend, but lost the back end a little bit. And that is the Mercedes getting the better of the Lamborghini.
The Lamborghini, that's
I was about to go with that. Middle of the day, Alfred? A bit outstatious. Ah, yes. The Lamborghini.
Rex Lamborghini because he can.
Trying to debate. I'm debating in my head who is the better Alfred, Michael Caine or in the show Gotham, Sean Pertwee.
Oh shit! Well, I don't know. I'm all in favor of Sean Pertwee because he's awesome, but Michael Caine. It's either going to be Michael Caine or I don't remember the name of the guy who played the Alfred in the original run of movies. He was just like the only consistent one.
Yes.
So it's either the original cinematic Alfred or Michael Caine.
Fair point. Benjamin Adamian's gotten back past Dave Nelson in the top 10. So Nelson now corking the bottle for Dan French and Paul Riccobeni, who are on a little bit of a recovery drive, trying to maximize what they can out of this race after having some ill fortune. Sean Pertwee, though, is the most badass Alfred.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't hesitate to... I've never seen it, and I'm going to go with yes.
It's a well-casted show, even if... I always have a bit of a problem with prologues or, prologue-type TV series or whatever, just because you know where we're going. And the journey can still be very, very interesting. But there is always that problem that the conclusion is foregone. Like when Alfred's getting shot at, for example, you know he's not going to die. Like he is
But with
alive
the right
later
actor.
on.
With the right actor at the right time in the right place. Oh boy.
Dan French under pressure from Paul Riccobeni. They hit into Piratella. In the meantime, French is trying to put pressure on Dave Nelson. So we got a French sandwich here. It's all kinds of problems. You got like you got German filling between one slice of kiwi bread and one slice of Japanese bread, rice bread, I guess. It's been a weird sandwich.
What is your rambling nonsense? What are you doing here?
I went with the sandwich reference and couldn't come up with anything really snappy to go with it.
What are the ingredients we're dealing with here?
So you got a New Zealander car.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Dan French out of shape at Ravassa and Paul Riccobeni. Anyways, we got a New Zealand car followed by a German car followed by a Japanese car. Like, it's a bit of a weird sandwich.
Oh, that's it's probably some,
Michael Magus going to the inside of Max Simmons. Little contact. And not only is he going to lose out to Magus, but he loses out to Zach Martin. That's 2 turns in a row at Tamburello that Max Simmons has just been barged out of the way. First by Jeff Wentworth, now by Michael Magus.
Perhaps.
That Lamborghini, I don't think, is strong at Tamburello. And it just met up with 2 very powerful front-engine cars who just said, curbs? What curbs?
Well, I'm going to trump your sandwich and go with a wasabi-laced kiwi bird schnitzel.
Oh, that's good. That's why we pay Byron the big bucks.
I don't know if you can eat kiwi birds. I don't know if it's legal to eat kiwi birds.
I mean, we can. We can talk about the
They
legality.
also told me I couldn't have panda fillet anymore, but I don't listen to those people.
There's a place where you can get that done. One of the Tango Aston Martins getting out of the way there. Did one of the Tango Aston Martins just give a spot to Tom Woz? I think they did. They went to let Jeff Wentworth through under blue flags, and I think Tom Woz pulled the cheeky move of the day and just said, "Oh, I'll take that. I accept 23rd place." Unless that's Juan Borji, but I think that's Ruben Ciencio off the track now. We'll have a look once the timing stripe comes up here. If 23rd place turns into Tom Woz, then he pulled a really cheeky move there. And he did! All right, Tom Woz might get driver of the day just because of that. That was some Max Verstappen Monaco stuff right there. And for those who are unaware, there was a race at Monaco this couple years ago when Max Verstappen was at Toro Rosso. He was lapped by Sebastian Vettel, and Monaco is basically impossible to overtake at. Byron watched a race at Monaco recently. He saw very little overtaking, and that's pretty normal. And Verstappen just kind of like hid in the back pocket of Sebastian Vettel for the rest of the race, and when a car got blue flags for Vettel and let him through, Verstappen would be like, "Thank you," just popped out behind and took the spot as well. So Tom Woz pulling the Max Verstappen as Andrew Burke puts a lap on Diego Alonso. Time running down here. 3 minutes to go at Imola. Andrew Burke leading Matt Higgs. So in terms of the championship battle, making up some ground. Would have liked to win. Started on the front row. Led, I believe, up until the pit stop. But William Murrah has hopped him and has pulled out about a 5-second advantage here at this point. Matt Higgs is in championship leader. Matt Higgs is in 3rd place, followed by Dominic Turcotte, Ayrton Tobin, and Jeff Wentworth, the trail of Mercedeses. Followed by Michael Magus having a fantastic run in the Lexus. Also, Tobin currently leading silver, doing a great job there. Zach Martin, pole position, is turned into an 8th place. A little bit of a hollow race for him. Max Simmons. And we have a bronze in the top 10 with bronze leader Benjamin Anamien having a fantastic race.
You're talking shit about William Murrah, and he's all up in that 1st place action.
When was I talking shit about William Murrah?
Well, first he was a pole dancer, and then you said, "Oh, he's only a 4th-rate pole dancer," and then he was an 11th-rate pole dancer.
He was never the pole dancer. That was Dave Nelson.
That same person.
Or not Dave Nelson. That was Zach Martin.
That's all the same person.
William Murrah and Zach Martin are very different people.
Fair enough.
William Murrah is very one of a kind.
Is that because he's from Tanzania?
He's from France.
There's a lot of them French guys, though.
His personality is very, very unique. We've had some interesting philosophical questions on Discord when it comes to William Murrah, and it's very intriguing.
Is that because he's literally Napoleon?
It could be. I have no evidence that he's not. I've never seen them in the same room.
Correct.
Michael Magus under pressure here from Zach Martin as well as Max Simmons as they work through Aqua Minerale and up to Variante Alta, which is a prime overtaking location. But for now, the Lexus remains ahead. Good day for Mike Magus. He's running in second place right now with championship leader in the silver, Jake Northrup, not present. And then Dan French having a little bit of a rough day, although still actually in third in silver, so it's not that rough of a day for Dan French.
Are you saying that Northrup's gone south?
Mike Magus might be able to come out in the lead here. Just doing some quick math in my head. No, it will go to French, who's on the verge of his third consecutive silver pole in his first series in ESR. So great rookie campaign. And as if magic, we're on board with Dan French. We're on the bonnet cam, which on the Porsche looks a little weird because we're looking down the cooling vent.
Is Dan French more French than William Murrah?
No, not to my knowledge. I don't think Dan French is French. He's Canadian.
Well, maybe William Murrah should become William French.
Perhaps.
William Super French.
Well, I mean, if we really want to go French, it'd be William Francois, or Francais.
Wilhelm Francis.
Surprised we've seen no track limit drive-throughs here today. Just because we usually do. Imola has some very strict track limits, and the fact that you're constantly abusing the curbs leads to a lot of potential track limit abuse, warnings and penalties and so on. But the field has done an excellent job today and not brought that home. As, by the way, we have the checkered flag. William Murrah is your winner. There wasn't a lot of suspense on that. Andrew Burke coming home in second place. And there is a battle going on for third, I think. I would kind of like it if the camera went to that. We follow this battle for seventh place through Ravassa. And indeed, Dominic Turcotte overtaking Matt Higgs on the start-finish straight to take a podium. Not sure what happened there. I do know Turcotte is under investigation for contact on lap 1, so he may take a penalty. Matt Higgs in fourth, Ayrton Tobin, Jeff Wentworth, Michael Magus, Zach Martin, Max Simmons, Benjamin Adamian, your top 10 here today. And a couple of cars are under investigation for some potential behavior problems with Juan Borji, Dominic Turcotte, and Ayrton Tobin, all under investigation. So could be an interesting change. People are leaving the server, so I'm not going to try and run down the results here. A 130-second
bunch of quitters.
130-second penalty for Tom Woz for not doing his pit stop. I am told that the crew lost their ability to use the impact guns, and they just couldn't change the tires, and they were going to take that penalty.
I snuck into the pits at night and removed all their thumbs.
So I'll give you the full rundown here once all the checkered flags are out. We got a couple of cars still finishing up. There we go. So final results here from Imola. We got William Murrah, your race winner, from Andrew Burke, Dominic Turcotte third, Matt Higgs, Ayrton Tobin, Jeff Wentworth, Michael Magus, Zach Martin, Max Simmons, Benjamin Adamian. I gave you that rundown of the top 10, but after them, Paul Riccobeni gets back to 11th place. He had a pretty solid comeback drive. Probably my driver of the day. Ran into trouble on lap 1 and actually did make a pretty decent comeback to 11th place. Dave Nelson, Dan French, Guillermo Taylor, Andres Lasudis, Cliff Hemian, Seth Cheney, Trevor Cheney. The Cheneys finishing 17th and 18th. Very nice. Very nice.
And your winner, Michael Vegas.
Rick Martel got 19th for you, Byron. Followed by David James, Diego Alonso, Matt Howell, Dave Brock, and due to his penalty, Tom Woz slips to 24th place. 3 DNFs, Ruben Ciencio, Robert Arzumian, and Juan Borji. Let us apply the standings here, and I'll give you the updated standings run for today's race, although we are still facing, of course, the potential penalties of the drivers that I mentioned are under investigation. And there's a weird additional car name thing in the scoring here that's filled out for some and not for others. I'm very confused. Race app guys, you're doing some weird things. Anyways, let's have a look at the standings. We're just refreshing the standings here to get the caught up here. So the championship lead overall still holds in the hands of Matt Higgs. He leads by 4 points over Andrew Burke, who's been second in all 3 races so far this season. William Murrah's win today puts him in 3rd place, 23 points off the lead. Dominic Turcotte in 4th, followed by Zach Martin. That is your top 5 in the overall standings. In the team's championship, Angry Panda has taken over the lead. That's the team of William Murrah, Dave Brock, Dominic Stewart, Turcotte, and Rob Stewart. GPX Racing falling to 2nd place, and Tech 1 Racing, the Lexus crew of Mike Magus, Rick Martel, Paul Riccobetti, David James remaining in 3rd place, followed by Talk Sport and Send It Nation. Those are the 5 teams that I think are really in this fight. Everyone else kind of a little bit further behind, but we'll see. In the bronze category, Benjamin Adamien taking his first bronze win of the season and championship lead, 2 points ahead of Seth Cheney. David James is only 10 points back, so there's a good fight going on there. And then in the silver category, it is Dave French, or Dan French, leading by 1 point over Michael Magus and Ayrton Tobin. That is tight. That is very tight in the silver category, and a lot probably hinging on Tobin's penalty there, which may result in a change of the guard in the standings there. We will see what happens otherwise. And Byron, do you have any final thoughts?
Gulf Oil sweeps the top 20. Y'all can eat it.